Hello, I'm Brian. Behind us is our pumpkin patch, and we are hoping to grow some pumpkins for Halloween, some good big sized pumpkins, but we didn't get that this year, which means we have something to look forward next year as we improve upon our growing methods. We'll take a closer look at our pumpkin patch and the pumpkins that we got, and then also talk about how we're going to get ready for next year's growing in terms of improving the soil, and also how the space is being utilized. Let's go take a closer look at the pumpkins that have grown, and we brought out our special guest here. He's busy chewing away at the grass. This is Sheldon. He's a spurred thigh tortoise. They're also known as sulcata tortoise. They're the world's third largest tortoises, and he comes on the lawn for walks. And sometimes when I turn my back or I forget that he's out here, he goes and he nibbles on our pumpkins. So if the pumpkins look strange, it's Sheldon's handiwork. So let's look at our first pumpkin. This is a pumpkin that you may have seen it grow in some of the other garden videos, the garden tours, and I can finally reveal to you what this is. This is a French heirloom pumpkin. It's a Rouge Vif de Tempes pumpkin, and it normally doesn't face this way. This lighter color is the result of it not seeing any sun, because the way it normally faces, it looks like is like this, and Sheldon's been taking nibbles out of it. He's pretty quick. Normally if he bites into a pumpkin, I will just let him finish it, but I wanted to save this to show you what pumpkin this is. So after we're done with this video, he can resume and enjoy that pumpkin. Next to the pumpkin, he has a buddy, a Klondike blue ribbon striped watermelon. I don't know if you saw that earlier. Watermelons have really good camouflage. Okay, let's go look at our other jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. This is fresh scarring from earlier, where Sheldon went and took some bites out of it. This was from much earlier, and the pumpkin has since made a scar around it to protect itself, but I think we can still salvage it for Halloween. This is our biggest pumpkin. These are other marks from Sheldon. Our other pumpkin is smaller and untouched. So these are pumpkins grown from last year's jack-o'-lantern. I'm not entirely sure if they're small because the seed that they're grown from, or if the soil is not as nutritious as it needs to be. I'm thinking it's probably the latter. So if you are planning to do this, save your pumpkin seeds this Halloween, and then get your soil ready for next summer. And the earlier you start, the better. So let's go ahead and cut these off the vine, and I'll get the soil ready for next year. Here's our growing area on the edge of the lawn. So we want to dig it up. With the vine, we can put it back here and let it compost. This will improve the soil for next year. And Sheldon's already going at our pumpkin. There wasn't a plan to store this pumpkin, but if there was one, with the stem off of the pumpkin, it's not going to store well. Your bacteria is going to get in there, get into the middle and start rotting it out. So good thing we weren't planning to store this guy. So make sure you get the pumpkin with the stem on if you're planning to store pumpkins.
With regard to the utilization of the space, the original idea was to plant pumpkin plants as a way to shade the grass, which in turn would require less water to keep the grass happy. We didn't see as much growth from the pumpkin plants as we had wanted, but this is a good starting point. The plants were initially grown in clay soil, and the hope by next year, with the improvement of the soil, we'll get bigger plants, bigger pumpkins, and more happy grass sitting underneath the umbrella of pumpkin plants.
With the pumpkin vines removed, the yard looks more kept now. And this is something that you can also do if you have limited yard space and you don't want to commit too much of your space to having a full-time garden. Seasonal plants like pumpkins and watermelon could be grown on the edge of the lawn, and all you need is about maybe 2 square feet of space in terms of having good soil for them. And once the growing season's over, you remove your vines, the grass will grow over your growing area, and you'll get your lawn back. So it's been working out so far. This is the second year of doing this. Already looking forward to next year, where we want to grow more pumpkins, giant pumpkins, different kinds of pumpkins, and more watermelon. And once again, here are our pumpkins. They're a lot smaller than what we had hoped for, but we have pumpkins nonetheless. Something to look forward to next year, larger pumpkins. Until the next video, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.